Hi community, let's take a look how you can work with the MuleSoft RPA platform APIs, which are part of the MuleSoft Automation Platform API collection pack on the Salesforce developer workspace in Postman. So if you open it, you will see that we will be very soon releasing the MuleSoft RPA collection pack with a lot of examples to guide you how to get data from the MuleSoft RPA platform. Composer is already released, so feel free to try it out. Now, in order to use the MuleSoft RPA, make sure you are watching the Salesforce developers, and also when you are trying to use the MuleSoft RPA package, it will be not a separate collection, but a section in the MuleSoft Automation Platform APIs. So make sure to fork the whole collection into your workspace so you can use it. So this demo video we will be doing on my dev environment, on my local installation of Postman. And the moment we will be releasing this video, you will see that this section is populated with all the different examples for MuleSoft RPA. So let's go into my MuleSoft RPA collection package, which we are currently building. What we will provide here, and you know it from the Anypoint Platform APIs, are a clear description about what it is. And again, this disclaimer is super important. MuleSoft RPA Postman collections is completely unsupported, managed through the members here on the Salesforce developers, and we are going to provide and maintain it. There is no way you can create support cases for the platform collections. It's not going to work. It's all a community effort to help you get the data based on the different experiences we are collecting from other customer side. So make sure to consider this, and then you have the platform API. From the RPA point of view, you have seen that we have migrated to the Anypoint IDP, means here the authentication is super similar to the Anypoint authentication, where the user is entering first of all the Anypoint login page, username, password, he receives access token, and then you have to call again another resource on the Anypoint side for profile. This will set your organization ID, which you will be taken along with the access token to query any RPA resource on the MuleSoft RPA API side. And we are providing also an example. Make sure to import it. It will be the MuleSoft RPA example. Later on, we will look into this in more concrete. Then we will go through a description how to use it. This is something you can manage. Just quickly to the hierarchy of the collection. Similar to the Anypoint platform APIs, we tried to organize it based on the RPA module hierarchy. So you will find the very similar modules like you have on the UI of MuleSoft RPA, structured by the different folders in the collection. The authentication is mainly which you use for logging into the platform, and that would be basically it. And after this, you can see how some guidance on how to log in, how to save your access token, and get the organization ID, and be ready for querying other resources. So this is basically where we are going to start with. Let's also take a look on the way you log in into RPA. And that's basically the precondition. You cannot use the RPA examples in the MuleSoft automation collections if you have not migrated to the MuleSoft Anypoint IDP. So it should be a unified login experience, and then you are able to use it. Enter your username into the UI and the password as well. And you will see that you will be logged in here into Anypoint and from here you can go to RPA. So the login experience has changed, and this is something we had to consider when building the RPA examples. So let's log in using the Postman collections and see how you basically perform the login. In order to do the login, you can go into the authentication folder. There you will find a post login to IDP Anypoint platform. Here you can basically see few configurations. First of all, in the header, there is not much required. We have the body, of course, where you have to provide the username and password. You have a login URL, also important, considering the RPA tenant has a different URL than the Anypoint user and access management. So that's why you will find in this MuleSoft RPA environment two different URLs. One is for the login URL for managing all the things on the user side, and the other one is the URL for the MuleSoft RPA environment. So what we are saving after this request is just the organization ID, access ID, and a few cookies, which we will be needing later on. So basically that's the setup. Now in order to perform the login, you have to make sure that you go into the MuleSoft RPA environment and enter the login URL, the username, and password. So that's something you have to provide in order to use this collection pack. And you will see that the user or the login URL is always pointing to the anypoint.mulesoft.com. The URL itself is the RPA URL, the RPA manager URL, where you have your tenant, then .rpa.mulesoft.com. This is something you have to provide, of course, username and password as well. So let's get started, as I have already set my username and password as well as a login URL. So what also can be important is that if you have been logging in into Anypoint, maybe you need to delete those cookies. Let me see if I have been. Yes, I need to delete it first. And now I can send a request. You will see you receive a access token. This is the unified experience you will have from the Anypoint platform. And we are also using the resources there here. And now you have to query the second resource, which is get Anypoint profile. This is something you need to do in order to set the org ID and the user ID basically, which is set it here. We are using in the headers the BIRA token, which we received from the previous login call. So that's basically the setup. And from now on, you are able to query your RPA profile. So let's hit it. You will see here a few informations about my tenant and so on. I can also query now any asset like evaluations in my environment. You should see the data is empty because this is a completely empty environment. Also in the process automation, if I would like to see the categories, all this should be empty, but you see that we are receiving the data. So what we can do now is let's go into the RPA manager, and first of all into the API keys. We see for the bot management, we don't have any API key. So this is something we can now try to create. And for this, we need to navigate to bot management. Very similar experience like you have on the UI for MuleSoft RPA Manager. You select the API keys. So you can see if we go back, bot management, bots, and API keys. Same experience we have here in the hierarchy. So API keys, you open it. You can first of all get the data. Let me close the other tabs quickly. The data should be empty. So now we can create a new API key. You can see we have a payload defined. So let's say this is the Postman demo for RPA. And I can provide also here a description, RPA platform API demonstration. And that should be creating for me API key because the URL and org ID are already set. So let's hit it and we receive here 201 created, and we can go basically in RPA manager, refresh quickly on the API keys, and we should see here the new API key which is created. Same I can do with the user API keys if needed. It works in the same manner like I have done now for the bot API keys, but they are located under settings, user API keys. So you can quickly say, I would like to create a user API key, RPA demo, hit it, and it should be basically created now. Let's quickly refresh the page. And here is the RPA demo key. I can also delete it. You saw those requests. So you can try it out, try to explore it a bit, and just get started with the RPA collection pack. I'll be uploading this very soon to the Salesforce developers workspace in the MuleSoft automation platform APIs, where you can then leverage it. Of course, you might have now questions, how will I create users? So basically, users and permissions, those are created with the AnyPoint side of things. So you have here already in the AnyPoint platform, you have already the users where you can use this invite users. You have the role groups as well as roles where you can use the add new permissions to a specific role group or to a user. So this is something which is already provided and you are able to use it. So that's it for now. We will be uploading the MuleSoft RPA packages very soon, and you can then play around and provide feedback and improve with us this collection pack together. Thanks a lot.